Have you ever found yourself caught in a moment, a problem, a deep discomfort that feels utterly endless, a worry that settles in your chest like a stone, a challenge that seems to stretch into an infinite horizon, a pain that convinces you it will never truly fade? In those times, the present moment can feel like a heavy anchor, dragging you down, persuading you that this difficult chapter is not just a part of your story, but the entire book. You might lie awake, the silence of the night magnifying every doubt, every fear, every single thread of what feels like an unyielding knot. There's a quiet despair that whispers, "This is it. This is how it is now, and how it will continue to be." It's an illusion, isn't it? This feeling of permanence, this conviction that the current struggle is the ultimate reality. Our minds are remarkably adept at convincing us that the immediate hardship is a mountain range, insurmountable and eternal, when in truth, it might be no more than a passing cloud, momentarily obscuring the sun. Think back for a moment. Can you recall a time, perhaps years ago, or even just a few months past, when something felt utterly devastating? A heartbreak that felt like the world was ending. A professional setback that shattered your confidence. A misunderstanding that felt irreparable. You probably lived through nights much like this one, convinced that the burden would never lift, that the sting would never subside. Yet here you are. The sun rose again. The wound perhaps left a scar, but the searing pain has long since cooled. The path forward, once invisible, revealed itself. Life has a way of unfurling itself, doesn't it? Like a vast ancient river, constantly flowing, constantly changing its banks, eroding old worries, bringing new silt and promise. Problems we face are often like temporary dams in this river. They might disrupt the flow for a while, create turbulence, make the water rise, but the river always finds its way around, over, or eventually through. The very nature of existence is change. Everything is in motion. The seasons turn, tides ebb and flow. Even mountains, in geological time, are born and eventually wear down. Why then do we believe our personal storms are exempt from this universal law? Why do we hold on to the notion that this particular difficulty, this particular sadness, this particular fear is somehow fixed, immovable, a permanent fixture in our lives? The moment we truly begin to grasp that most problems are inherently temporary, something shifts deep within us. It's not about dismissing the pain or pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about understanding their nature. It's about recognizing that even the deepest valleys eventually give way to higher ground. This isn't a call to superficial optimism, but a profound invitation to look at life through the lens of impermanence. When you view a problem as a temporary guest rather than a permanent resident, you treat it differently. You might still offer it a seat, acknowledge its presence, but you no longer feel compelled to build an entire house around it. The grip loosens. The shoulders relax. The breath deepens. This realization is an act of gentle unburdening. It allows us to step back from the immediate intensity and find a quiet pocket of peace within ourselves, a sanctuary that remains untouched by the passing storms. Our inner world is not meant to be a constant battlefield, but a garden, ever-growing, ever-changing. Yes, but with a resilient root system. When we understand that the external turbulence is not forever, we connect more deeply with this unchanging core within us. We remember who we are beyond the current circumstances. We remember our capacity for resilience, our inherent strength, our ability to adapt and to heal. It's a quiet remembrance that settles the nervous system, allowing for a profound sense of inner healing to begin. This perspective doesn't magically dissolve all problems, but it profoundly changes how we carry them. It cultivates a quiet patience, a steady resolve. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, we might feel a gentle sense of watchful waiting, like observing a passing storm from a safe, warm window. We still feel the wind and see the rain, but we know the sun will eventually break through. This deep knowing builds a profound inner resilience, not by hardening us, but by softening us into acceptance. It's the wisdom to ride the waves rather than trying to stop the ocean. It's the quiet strength that whispers, "This too shall pass." So as the night deepens, perhaps you can allow this truth to wash over you. The heavy burden you might be carrying, the worry that feels so consuming right now, it is not forever. It is a moment, a season, a chapter. Life is a continuous unfolding, a series of beginnings and endings, joys and sorrows, all in constant motion. And in that quiet acceptance, in that profound understanding of impermanence, you might just find the softest, most lasting peace you have ever known. Rest in that knowledge,